It does look crooked.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the call, girl. You're not with me.
I'm trying to find it. Girls Investment Club podcast.
No.
Is it crooked?
It looks crooked still.
Wait, let me see the couch on your right.
See, there's
it's
more.
completely level.
It's wider on this side than on this side.
2 hours later.
Is that good?
Move out of frame so I can compare. No, now it's crooked the other way.
What do you think we should talk about this week?
I lost money.
Yeah, you know what? Me
Not
too.
permanently. Temporarily I am down. But I will soar up next week with the same investment. Because I bought Corsair, and then Corsair went way down, and I swear it's going to bounce back up.
Let me find the Corsair
I'm so
section.
convinced.
Here's the Corsair chart for 5 days.
Here's a
You
start.
cannot pat the cat. You'll shake the camera. Because I made that poor choice again to put the camera on the table. The cat was sound asleep.
She was not.
You woke her up.
I did not.
This is the week in Corsair. Where'd you buy it?
This is the week?
Yeah, this would be like Tuesday. I think you bought it when it was at its low.
Yeah, I bought it around here.
Monday? Okay.
I think.
So I went ahead and ran the machine on Corsair. And it's got these patterns of going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It went way up and then it went way down. And it kind of broke the pattern there. It looks like it's going lower. And I don't know. It is low compared to usual. So how long is your option for? The 13th?
The month. It's
the
until the
19th?
19th.
October. This is March. This is February.
Of March.
Yeah. I think you might have a chance. Of course, options decay in value.
Why did you say October?
You said October.
I did not. I did not say. Go back and replay what I said.
No.
I did not say October.
Well, what I think we should talk about this week is GameStop.
Well,
It took off
again.
Okay, so what happened is it started climbing, and I even checked it that morning. I was going to buy a little just in case, you know?
Right here. Right here.
Why are you trying to get the cat?
I'm trying to get the cat off the table so the camera stops wiggling.
I looked at GameStop that morning. It was weird, but I just kept feeling like, okay, something could happen. Where's GameStop? And then when I saw it start climbing, actually our house guest Dylan told me, hey, GameStop's taking off again. I think he did. And I looked, and it was rocketing. It was just rocketing like mad. So it was up 55%. So I thought, what the heck, I'll buy a little. And it rocketed up to 100%. And the next day, the overnight, it said it was up 100%. And I thought, wow, you know, here's my chance to make $1 million, right? And
Are you okay?
oh, now is the cat gonna barf up a hairball?
I think so. I think she's not feeling great. I want to pick her up.
2 hours later.
Can we?
I don't know. Hi,
I
are
think
you
we should
okay?
start over. This podcast is going to hell.
Okay, let's start over. But go back and make sure that I said
No,
nothing.
don't.
I didn't say October.
Just let it go.
I didn't say October.
Welcome to the Call Girls Investment Club
Podcast.
Clowncast.
Oh no.
Oh, I gotta show you on GME. Okay, so there will be a pause while I pull up all my screens.
Hold on, aren't we gonna talk about my experience with
Okay.
Corsair?
Okay, what is there more? I'm just
No, I just
disappointed
want to repeat what we already
Boo-hoo.
said because we're starting
No,
over.
I might keep that. Let's not repeat
Oh,
ourselves.
no.
That'll make this podcast even worse.
Oh no.
Please no. Do you want to see a 22,000% in a day return?
Sure.
Okay. So I bought into GME, made money. Next
And then
day,
I called the top.
you did. When it was up 88% the next day, you said, sell, I want you to sell, I want you to sell. And I was like, but no. And then it started dropping, and I quickly sold, and I got out at 56% up. So that was good, but then the next day or two I lost some, so Here's the problem with making tons of money. Then you want to always do remember, you always want to do the big play, right? When you make a big play and you make a ton of money, then you want to always do the big play. And that is the number one danger with big plays. Because remember when you asked me in our last podcast, what's more important, making incremental but steady income or making a big play?
Yeah.
I was joking when I said, the big play, of course, because that's like the attitude everybody has. I was
but
actually
it's
kidding.
wrong. It's
It is
wrong.
wrong.
You gotta make the incrementals. You gotta make little progress.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you're always going for the big plays, you're gonna win a huge amount and lose a huge amount.
If you like, oh my God, are you serious?
Don't even worry about the visuals. My God, the cat. Okay, you woke her up. She was sound asleep over there. I was all ready to start, and you plunked your computer down.
I did wake her up.
You
I
did.
wake her up.
I had it all planned out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put the camera on the table. All right, I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, here's my file. Okay, I have all these great things sorted. I'm not going to print 36 screens. I was going to talk about all this stuff. So I will just show you. Oh, this is a joke, by the way. You know 420 means weed, right?
Yeah.
And this headline says, Dow jumps 420 points to a record close in another intraday reversal. Recovery plays lead rally. Oh, it's a big rally at 420. So I wrote, oh, the Dow's high. The Dow got high. You don't think that's that funny?
No, I think that's funny.
Okay, fine. Then laugh.
Ha!
Okay.
Wait, no, that's the wrong one.
Thank you so much. Okay. GME. You want to see 22,000 returns, by the way?
I do.
Look at this. Oh, no, that's somebody else's. Somebody made a 20,000% gain on a 59-cent option. Okay. I have another one because I have a screenshot of what I bought and it was up 22,000%. And of course I had to post it. Damn it, where is it? I had to post it and everybody's like, did you make 22,000%? Look at these options. Look at these options. Here's a up 218,900%. 218,900% in one day.
That's pretty big.
Those options, I think, were 1 penny options that the next day were worth $21. But look how they're all worth the same amount. That's illogical.
No, that's pretty logical.
Well, they're all like a couple dollars apart, and they shouldn't be all the same price.
They're all about the same price.
Well, what somebody did is they bought a bunch of options for probably a penny, and then they put this ridiculous sale price in, and if someone hopped on late in the game and bought one of these, which I did, just as I had a little extra cash, I thought, I'll buy one of these in case it skyrockets to 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I lost money. Dumb. This is somebody else making a profit off of the enthusiasm,
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty eye-popping seeing 213% up.
Yeah.
If somebody bought $100, I mean, $100 would be like, okay, what is 213,000% times $100? Is that 2 million?
Yeah, that's about
$100.
200,000.
$100 turns into 2 million overnight.
No, not 2 million, 200,000.
I don't even care. I
Okay.
don't even want to know.
No, it was already 200,000. Okay,
now
I don't
I feel
know.
stupid. Now I gotta figure it out. Okay. Yeah, $100 is $200,000. You're right.
Okay.
What was I supposed to look at here?
Wait, that's only if it's 2,000. Was it 200,000 or 2,000%?
It was 200,000%.
Then
So
that's not 200,000.
That's per 100% per 100. So $100 is $200,000. $1 would be $2,000.
No. $1 would become 200,000.
$100 times 200,000% equals $200,000. Wait, what? 20
it's a
million?
big number. It's a
20
big
million?
number. It's
I'm
a
so
big
fucking
number.
confused.
It's a big
I
number.
don't want to know.
What's 200,000 times 100?
That's 20 million. So that calculator did it wrong.
No, that's correct.
Oh my God! Our whole podcast.
No,
is just
that's correct.
arguing over basic
Mom!
math.
Mom, you're thinking of what it would be if someone bought $1.
$100 times 200,000
Percent equals. I told you it's
$20 million.
It's 20 million.
It's $20 million. No, I can't take it. I can't handle it. Why didn't we buy some GameStop? Why didn't I buy some GameStop that morning? I would have $20 million if I bought $100. I would have $20 million if, remember, okay, here's the worst part. Michael, here's the worst part. I clearly remember going into your room and saying, I think I want to buy more GameStop, and you saying, don't do it. But you denied that. So was that a dream?
No, I wasn't saying don't do it. I was saying be careful. Because I know that it drops just as fast as it climbs.
Out of it. I would have bought $10,000 worth. I probably would have made how many million? I don't even want to know. This is making me sick. This podcast is not informational. It's just us kidding around. Oh my God.
Don't blame me. You made your decisions.
Ugh. What did you want to say about Corsair? What was I looking for? Corsair Gaming?
Yeah, Corsair. So
this is a really hard podcast because I lost my glasses again.
I think that Corsair is at its bottom now. I don't know. I hope.
Oh, you know what? Let me show you the machine because I don't know. It's going down.
But why?
Look at this. It's done this little loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop, and then I'll tell you why I think. I think because the people who buy Corsair are the people who buy GameStop.
But it's not even overvalued. Everyone was saying it's undervalued.
I don't know. Maybe because it did this big blip up, and then people thought of getting. They just forgot it for now.
Dang.
So this one's pointing downward, like it's still going, but then these other ones look like they could go up. I don't know. I think you're right. At this point, you may as well just wait. Because, it does seem like the curve's
flattening. If I had more money, I'd buy more.
Because it's low, right?
Yeah. But I don't have more money.
What's the news in Corsair?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it as much as I should have.
Maybe you want to look and then convince yourself whether you should stay in or get out.
Okay.
We should talk about Robinhood. I should start at the top of this list because otherwise it's too hard.
Okay.
Okay, so Bitcoin. I did this prediction on our last podcast that Bitcoin was going to go down. And I said it would go down for at least 5 to 15 days. And it did. Have I lost your interest?
No, I'm just thinking about...
Okay, so all the time Bitcoin does this rise in the morning and you get tempted and then it's like, oh, maybe it's the end. Maybe I should buy some Mara, and I did. And then it goes down some more. And I'm like, why didn't I just follow the machine? It said not to. And I really thought it was the bottom on Friday, and I bought more Mara, and then I ran the machine. And actually, the machine on Bitcoin says it will go up. The machine on Riot says Mara will go down, and Riot will go down. And I thought last time, how can these stocks that are Bitcoin miners go down if Bitcoin goes up? And they did. But then Bitcoin went down too. I think Bitcoin's at the bottom, actually. I didn't print it because I was going to do an updated one this morning. So let me just show you the Bitcoin charts, and let me ask you what they tell you, what you think that... Oh, that doesn't look good at all.
That looks like it's on the way down to me.
God, yeah. Well, look at 5 to 20.
That looks like it's on the way down.
Look at the volume as it goes down. You're right. Well, where are all these people? They all lost their money on GameStop, and they're not buying they're not buying Bitcoin anymore, and they're not buying Corsair anymore.
I don't know.
Happened? Look at this. You're right. It looks like Bitcoin's going down. Ugh. Okay, so I should definitely sell the Mara I bought and just give up.
Yeah.
It hits the bottom. I thought maybe it was hitting a bottom here, because look at how it's curving on the 5 to 20 for Bitcoin. I don't even know. It doesn't look good. When in doubt, stay out, right?
Right.
I'm in doubt. Alright, so Bitcoin. I hopped on the bandwagon of this thing. I bought a lot. I made a lot on this. Okay, so there's this thing called Churchill Capital, and they plummeted on the news that they were making this big deal because they rose so much. Everyone was all excited about Lucid Motors. This is a contender with Tesla, which personally I don't think anyone's going to beat out Tesla at their game. The big thing about Lucid Motors is they've got a battery that you can charge your house two ways. Your battery from your car can charge your house, and your house can charge your car back and forth.
I don't see why you would want that.
Oh, in case you have a power outage or something, or to equalize the money from, you can get power in your house when it's off peak, so you pay less, and then put power back into your house when it's peak hours and you don't need it from your car or something.
It just seems to me like using your car would run the car down really fast.
See, that's what I'm thinking too, but the worst thing about that everyone thinks is so great, Tesla had the capability of doing that, and they decided against it because all the power companies are different. They all have different regulations, and like Glendale, we got solar, and we were going to try to do something like that. They won't allow it. So what's the point of having the technology developed if you have all these local governments that have different rules and half of them aren't going to allow it?
Right.
So I don't feel like Lucid is really a contender with Tesla at all, at least not in the near term. But this stock got bid way, way up. So then when they announced the deal, this is a SPAC. A SPAC is a special, I forgot what the letters stand for, but it's basically a company's going to go public. People want to buy the stock, and they can buy it early if they buy from the special interest group that's going to do investments in these private companies before they go public. And so these hyped up companies, you can buy into the SPAC, and then when people buy the hyped up company and it goes public, then you make all the profit off of those big rises in stock when they go public, and everybody's all excited, like Beyond Meat.
Right.
Or, when Tesla went public, right? So it went up on this crazy excitement. Then they announced the deal, and everyone did the math, and it's like, oh, we're paying this much money for shares that are only worth this much. So there was a lot of disappointment. It dropped 43%. And Kramer mentioned in passing at 5 in the morning, oh, I think this is a little overblown. It was overblown on the way up, and now it's overblown on the way down. And I heard that, and then I was reading through my notes on Call Girls, and somebody had promoted this the day before and said, can you look at it? Well, I was looking at the day after, and it had plummeted, and I'm like, oh, this looks like actually I could make a little money on this as it bounces back, because I've seen this before when they overreact and then they bounce back. 40% is too much of a move. I said, I think this will go to about 23%, somewhere in there. So I bought it at 43% down. I wrote it up to 23. I decided to sell, like you advised me, always get out, I sold when I thought it was reaching my target. And it immediately started dropping again, and I made the exact perfect trade on this CCIV.
That's great.
Churchill. So that's good.
Great. Good job.
But that was early in the
Good
week.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to hear that. And then this thing with GME happened, and I got involved like an idiot. Oh.
Who was Dave and who was Vlad?
Okay, so do you want to know why GME took off a second time?
Why?
Okay, so they had hearings in Congress about the whole GME thing and about Robinhood, and Robinhood wouldn't let people buy the stock; they only let them sell, so they forced it to crash. Except they don't talk about this, but every single broker did the exact same thing. So it wasn't Robinhood; it was the the government regulators saying we can't let you have trades done unless you put more money up, and all the brokers like simultaneously cut off the trading.
Right.
Except I've never seen this done before, where they just cut off the buying and only the selling, so they intentionally crashed the stock. Well, the reason is, as I told you, my theory was before, because Robinhood, this is Vlad of Robinhood, their biggest client is the short sellers. Well, they had this whole presentation before Congress, that was this last week, and then they had this big, this is like a fight, it's Dave Portnoy is the guy who's always championing the little guy, the stock traders. He had him on his show, and he like had this big argument with him on his show, and it was the big news how he like called him out on all his bullshit, and he pointed out how Robinhood is making all this money off the short sellers, and they basically served the short sellers by forcing this. So that happened, and then the biggest investor who had done GameStop triggered this buying spree. And it's weird because all he triggered it with was an image of a cone of ice cream. Oh, here, this is my call. Look at my call that I bought. It was up 241,900%.
Well, that's really good.
That's the crazy one I bought.
What's GameStop at right now?
Why don't you look?
I'm thinking, and I know and people.
This tweet right here of a cone of ice cream is the thing that made people start buying GameStop. Do you understand why?
Why is who's Ryan Cohen?
He's one of the investors in GameStop.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No.
This is a symbol for the ice cream machine at McDonald's is working again.
Oh!
So you explain it to me now, because I'm like, I don't get it. Except for, okay, we're doing it again. It's like he's saying, hey, we're doing it again. Also, in the hearings, one of the top investors, the top investor in GameStop last time, he said, I'm doubling down. I don't know if it's him, because he goes by a nickname. Okay, so have you heard this saying before? The ice cream machine at McDonald's is working again?
Not exactly, but
it makes sense.
It makes sense with my
modern brain.
As like, okay.
All right. So,
we're back in. The ice cream machine the money printers are working again.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Because like the ice cream machine at McDonald's is like all broken half the time, and then it starts working, and then everyone rushes in.
So Kramer comes on, and I thought he had a great idea. He said, they should change GameStop into a Bitcoin teaching facility, because they have these 5,000 stores. What would draw people in to 5,000 stores that are game, computer-oriented kind of places? What could they use GameStop stores for? And they could use them as Bitcoin training centers. They could buy they could issue stock, cover all their debt when the stock is high, then use it to buy a Bitcoin, then do like one of these Bitcoin store things. And then he said if they're dealing in Bitcoin, they could have international games live, and they could pay the winners in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because you can't pay them in all these different currencies, but if you pay them in Bitcoin, you could have these international games.
Yeah, international tournaments.
If they had tournaments with no lag, in the store, that would draw people in.
Right.
I thought that was a great idea, and maybe in the next month or so, maybe they'll take them up on it.
Well, I mean, rollback netcode is starting to get more, more common, but also a lot of Japanese companies don't want to use rollback netcode.
What is rollback netcode?
Rollback is a special way of programming your internet coding so that it basically creates a very seamless feeling experience when you're playing like a fighting game or like other online games.
So you're telling me that international gaming with no lag is possible?
With almost no lag, yeah.
It's in the coding of the game?
Yeah, it's in how you program it, and it's called rollback.
So do you think it's plausible that GameStop could do the outline that Kramer gave?
Oh, well, I think so. I think rollback isn't a big concern that much because a lot of companies aren't up to using it, and you gotta like redesign your network infrastructure for it. But more modern games are using it. Like this one, I forget the name of it, but it's like this new fighting game that is like really seamless with it apparently, and so people are like into that. But I think
think they still have a chance to set up their.
Oh yeah, and also there's all sorts of games where that sort of netcode isn't a thing. Like old fighting games in particular, like have to rely on modding communities to bring that sort of functionality to them.
Well, here's my thought: if GameStop plummets again, which it did the other day, it went down. Oh, I have GameStop here somewhere. It's low it's down for the week, you know. Here it is. Oh, well, maybe it's not down for the week. Look at that. I just so sad. I was thinking about buying it right there, right there, right there. But if it goes back down, and it's got these 1 cent options that are outrageous prices, I could possibly buy some long term just in case, right?
Right.
And then what if GameStop does announce something like that? Those guys on Reddit will go nuts again.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a little shorter, but even if it went nuts like this last time, we'd be millionaires.
Yeah.
You know? So it might be worth committing 100 here, 100 there, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
But my concern is, are the people running GameStop going to do something or not? Now they've got this new guy that's come in to run it from Chewy, which is a pretty well-run company. Why would you go to a sinking ship if you're successful?
I don't know, ask Reggie.
And then the other thing that triggered this GameStop move was they fired the CFO, which
Right.
is the chief financial officer. Well, he's in charge of making financial decisions like, should we buy some Bitcoin or whatever?
I can't.
Should we issue stock?
I can't get over the fact that Reggie joined GameStop and then left GameStop in the span of what felt like a month.
Who was Reggie? The Nintendo guy?
Reggie Fils-Aimé was the president of Nintendo USA, and then he quit Nintendo USA to retire, and then for a brief period of time, he was hired at GameStop, and then left GameStop.
Okay, so was someone over him?
I don't know.
There's some problem that... Okay, so this is the point I'm getting to. They fired the CFO. Why? So Kramer's theory is they want to sell Bitcoin, or they want to buy Bitcoin and do some kind of convoluted thing like I'm talking, and the CFO wouldn't go along with it. But another thing is, when the stock was trading at these ridiculous prices a month ago, if they had issued stock, they could have paid off all their debts and been solvent. And Kramer kept saying it, and the stock kept being high. And I don't think it would have killed the stock either, because the guys would be like, oh yeah, we'll buy more, you know?
I think it might be cool if GameStop were to try publishing games if they had the kind of money for that. I don't know if they do have that money, though.
Well, no, they don't have enough money. They have debt. So
Right.
the CFO is the chief financial officer. Why didn't they issue stock a month ago?
I think that part of the reason why Corsair is going down might be because GameStop is going up and people associate them as competitors, but I don't really see that.
You don't think they're competitors?
I don't think they're competitors.
Okay, well, they are competitors for the dollar of investing money. So I feel like the people who buy GameStop are the people who buy Corsair. They're the same people who buy Bitcoin, Riot, Mara. I feel like the only thing that determines the stock price is supply and demand of the stock.
Right. Well,
You know, old guys on Wall Street are like, oh, the value of this, oh, the upcoming event or whatever. They're right. That determines the demand for the stock.
Right.
But if you know what the demand for the stock is, like these guys on Reddit are talking about something and they create demand out of nothing that the Wall Street guys are watching.
The thing about GameStop and Corsair is that they both represent two very different sides of the gaming industry. GameStop is sort of representative of like console gaming, of you go up to the store and you buy a physical game and you buy the game console and you go home and you set it up and you put the disc in and you play it. Where Corsair is very representative of PC gaming. You build up a PC and then you just download a bunch of games onto it and then you have that library of games on your PC.
It seems like that would be the way of the future.
That seems like the way of the future, and that's the main reason I think GameStop has been struggling so much lately, is because a lot of how GameStop works revolves around practices that feel kind of outdated.
If they had the money, if they had only sold when they were high, they could have sold shares. They could have bought other companies like Corsair.
Yeah, they feel very much like the Blockbuster of the games industry.
Oh, I was confused for a minute. I actually was thinking we were talking about Blockbuster for a split second.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, aren't they bankrupt yet?
No.
Okay, so that's GameStop.
But I do think that there's value in that. There's a lot of people who buy video games who are really interested in the collector's aspect of it. They want a bookshelf full of games that has all the games they own on it. They want to have a room that shows off like figurines and collectible figures and like posters.
I don't think that's a great business because look at records. You don't see records for sale really except in specialty collector stores.
Really?
You can't build a whole huge industry on
You can't. That's true.
printing records.
That's very true. I think that's a good point.
This is another thing I bought this week, Workhorse, like an idiot. I was sitting there and somebody said, I think this is your next Tesla, and they just came out with this news, and I looked and it's like, oh wow, and I don't know why I succumbed to this suggestion that I should buy it. But I did, and of course it popped like this and then the next day went down. So
Well, actually, I think I disagree with you on that, on the idea that you can't build a big business out of collector's stuff, because
if you have a lot of collector's stuff, but if you have just games...
Right, you don't want to have that for a physical store, but for internet shopping and for online stuff...
No, but their problem
Well, no, because then they'd be competing with Amazon.
Well, also, their problem is they have too many physical stores.
Yeah. They don't have a good thing to do with all the physical stores, because now it's like, what do you go out to a store? You go to a store to get... They don't sell like computer parts or computer hardware.
No, that's why Kramer said it should be a gathering place where people go to have these international games. And you could have like a stadium kind of situation where people watch somebody play. They're kind of small stores, but still.
I feel like most people who enjoy video games enjoy having the ability to enjoy them from the comfort of their own home.
So you don't think they would go to a store?
I feel like the idea of it as a gathering place kind of...
Remember Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
So that's a different thing. That's a social game.
Well, yeah, but that's still something you go, like...
But you could do that from home now with a virtual version.
Dungeons and Dragons, where you're at a specific Dungeons and Dragons place, and you're sitting at a table across from another group of people who are also playing Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of takes away from the experience.
What, whereas, you overhear them and stuff?
Yeah, if you've got like a bunch of other people also playing in the same room as you, versus you're in your friend's mom's basement, and you've got a table and it's just the four of you down there, and you're in that isolated experience, it draws you into the world.
Got it. Okay. I don't know. So, I'm not going to touch GameStop.
I don't know. I feel like they have to figure out a way to save the company, but I feel like long term there isn't a lot of room for them to grow, and they're going to have to cut things off and aim smaller than they have aimed in the past in order to survive.
Well, what about the idea of teaching people Bitcoin mining or having people do Bitcoin mining or something?
That's all stuff you can learn on the internet, and besides...
It seems overwhelming to me, like I'd want to go to a help desk.
That might be, but I feel like GameStop doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. Where is the connection that makes you say GameStop is qualified to teach people about Bitcoin?
You're right. They're not techie. They're just a store.
Yeah. They don't even sell, like, if anything, Corsair would be more qualified because they at least sell the parts that people use to mine Bitcoin.
Okay. I think GameStop's definitely not a buy.
Yeah. I don't think long term. I think that with all the people pushing for it, like, it makes sense to want to get into that hype. But I don't think that long term they are a good investment.
I was just looking for something where there'd be a triggering event and more hype that I could capitalize on.
Right.
But I'm thinking the triggering event's not going to happen. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, it might. Who knows? They'd have to do something really out there. And it had to be something that, like, makes sense from a business perspective.
Why would the head of Chewy go over there if he didn't have an idea or a plan? Why would the head of Nintendo go over there if he didn't have an idea or a plan?
They made him an offer. I don't know. What's Rocket?
Rocket Mortgage. This is... Okay, okay, I will talk about these. Rocket Mortgage did a big climb because they did really great numbers. They're a mortgage company. Well, this year was unusual. People moved a lot. I don't think next year will be the same. I mean, I meant last year. Last year's numbers were great. Moderna. Oh, this is interesting. Moderna, mRNA. Oh, by the way, Rocket Mortgage is RKT.
Okay.
Moderna is mRNA. Kramer just kind of mentioned, like he wasn't supposed to tell anybody, in passing, that Moderna, the vaccines that they created are based on a technology that could also possibly be used for curing cancer. And they kind of shot up after he said that. I bought some. I don't know. See, after you make a lot of money, you get like, oh, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. You know what I mean? That's me.
Yeah, be careful.
I feel like these are all mistakes, but I bought only little bits. But I am still in Moderna. Because I'm thinking, he said this. It shot up a little. People are kind of like not really talking about it yet. And it is a vague future possibility. But also, Moderna found out their vaccine doesn't need to be refrigerated at 80 below. Which is a big change. So
they just found that out, huh?
I'm trying to figure out, well, what happened? I haven't researched this, but what do you think happened?
We left it out and it's fine.
I think it's a fucking lie. I think they're just saying that because a bunch got left out, and then they called the people and said, oh, no, you can still use it, you know? Who wants to throw all the vaccines out, right?
No, that's not good if that's
I've done
true.
a lot of research on these vaccines, and I really want to get the old-fashioned one, Johnson & Johnson, because here's the thing. Every time you get something new, little things go wrong, right?
Right.
If you buy electronics, and it's the new edition, there's always little things, right?
Right.
And they've really not done... I was okay with it before, and then I did more research. The part of the research they skipped is the part where they give it to the humans or the mammals and they die, and then they're like, oh, back to square one. And they didn't do the thing where they give the question. The thing in question is they give the vaccine to. They've done something like this before many times. They've given the vaccine to animals in the tests. Animals are fine. Everybody's fine after the vaccine, right?
Right.
Then a couple of years later, they get exposed to this germ that they got vaccinated against, and it kills them because it's supercharged their immune system to be responsive. Oh, see, now it's been a week since I read this, and I can't.
Okay.
But basically, the animals die because they can't handle it. So I don't want to get a vaccine that 2 years from now I'm going to die. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I just really am not going to get Moderna or Pfizer, even though I invested in Moderna. I'm going to get the J&J one or nothing.
Okay.
Beyond Meat did a big climb. I think all these people are releasing numbers or something, but I cannot invest in Beyond Meat. Do you think you would ever buy any Beyond Meat?
Are they the company that's like making the fake? I've seen a lot of advertising from them. They've been pushing it really hard.
It's available in places. I don't know if this is the one available in McDonald's. I don't even follow their news. They're in the grocery stores. You see big sections, right?
Right.
I do not believe in, because of all the migraines I've had in the past, I've been very careful about having whole foods, direct from the source, you know, as fresh as possible, whole grains. And this is counter to that. And also, it's got way more salt than a normal piece of meat. I am not, I know it's probably a great investment and the way of the future, and it'll save the environment. I have to eat meat because I would get migraines if I didn't eat meat.
You have to eat meat, but not everyone is like you.
Well, I don't invest in things that I don't believe in, and I really don't believe in that.
I believe in it. I think that there's a lot of room for profit there. I think that it's definitely not something where you should be like, oh, you eat meat? Well, you have to in your case because you have like a medical reaction to it.
So I'm thinking, okay, if I have that reaction because I'm not getting enough cysteine and enough, magnesium or whatever is not in the plant-based meat. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about that. Get that out of here.
Just so you know, the
Get
headline,
that out of here. Don't even talk about
well,
it.
they're going to wonder what you're talking about. It says,
Get that out of here.
I will
Cut
not
this
talk
out.
about it. I will just say what the headline is.
No, you're not.
U.S. airstrike on Syria.
Okay.
I will not talk about
No
it.
more.
I won't talk about it.
No more.
So I guess the moral of the story of our podcast is if you make a big haul, don't go crazy and start buying a bunch of stupid stuff.
Right. That's a good idea. Save it away for the next big haul. You know what I'm gonna do, Mom?
I'm gonna go
I'm
gonna wait till the machine tells me to buy something. Here's all the other machines I ran.
I might not make a profit on Corsair. I think it'll definitely shoot back up. Whether it'll shoot back up to where it was, or shoot up higher, or shoot up lower. I'm gonna get out and take what I can get. I'm gonna get into puts. Because here's the thing, Mom, is that I think puts are no different than calls. And I think that every time we've had our investments, we invest in things, and then it goes up. And we go, oh, we gotta invest more money. And then because of how the stock market works, it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down.
I think
that we always invest, and go, oh yes, and now it's gonna go up. And then we invest more, and then it goes down, and we lose all the money we just made. I think
that's an option thing, and also I think we do have to change our title to Call Girl and Put Boy.
I think that if I learn how to trade puts, I can learn how to make money off of the times when you lose money.
Okay, here's a couple problems with that. One, we're very aware of certain companies. Those are the well-run companies that tend to go up.
Right.
So if you buy puts in a company that tends to go up, you're sailing against the wind.
Well, I don't know if I'd be buying puts in the companies that tend to go up. My thought process is I'd invest in the good companies with calls, and I'd invest in the bad companies with puts.
Well, here's another problem with puts. It can only go down to zero and probably won't.
Well, that's what you say, but I think that that's not a very reasonable way of looking at it. At least I don't know exactly how it works yet. I think that
you watch them,
you spent
learn from them, but
ages,
don't gamble with them.
You spent ages trying to explain to me how options worked, and I never got it. And then the second I started trading options, I was like, oh, I get it now. I think that with puts,
you want to get some experience.
I need to get experience, and I need to actually understand how these types of investments work.
I'm going to show you a couple machines I ran. You tell me what you think is going to happen.
The machine is going to be really helpful if we can learn that. I think that...
What do you think's happening here?
That's going down.
Laura.
Well, actually, let me look at the volume.
I feel like it's going to go down.
I think that's going to go down. It might swing back up eventually.
This is Riot blockchain.
Riot blockchain.
Yeah, it's just started to go down.
Just started going down.
It's like got a ways to go down.
Yep.
Isn't that sad? Okay, GameStop. Oh, this is just recent, so you can't quite tell. I could have run both, but...
GameStop, was this
Isn't this
before or
weird?
after the jump?
No, this is up to Friday. It looks like... Doesn't that weird? It looks like it's possibly going up.
It looks that way, but it could just be that the huge spike is fucking with the numbers.
Yeah, that's something I thought of. Although, it's funny because when last week I was here, I was like 5 days back, and it was definitely starting to climb. It was telling me, the machine was telling me GameStop's going to go up before that blip happened. That's why I was thinking about buying it, and I thought, well, this is crazy. But the machine was saying it's going to have another leg up.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's still kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Actually, what I would think is, this is the long term, the bottom chart. I feel like it's starting to bottom, but it'll probably be down here a bit. So maybe it'll be another chunk of time.
Yeah, because, okay,
another
you know what?
20 days.
It shot up,
It'll have
and then it
another
kind of
spike.
swung down. I think it's going to swing back up.
I think it's going to be another 20 days, and GameStop's going to have another event.
Don't buy puts on GameStop.
March 26th or something. So maybe I will buy a few of those $100.
Yeah, they're probably going to do something, but I don't believe in them long term. I don't see them being like a big company in 5 to 10 years.
Here's Corsair. I shouldn't have told you what it was. It's hard to tell because there's not much data.
It looks like it's going down.
It does look like it's still going down,
I'm upset.
doesn't it?
I'm upset.
Yeah. It
But
doesn't
we'll
look
figure
like
it
it's
out.
bottomed yet.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
So I don't know. So the machine seems to be working for me.
All right. I'd like some money to trade with.
However, I am not making money because I'm doing foolish things like buying Mara when the machine says not to.
You should just
And those
look at
other
it.
stupid trades.
You should just look at it whenever you're going to make a trade.
Yeah, it's hard to run. So I'm going to run it like every day at noon before the market closes and see what I should do.
If you show me how it works, I might be able to make it run easier.
I will teach you. It's an Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
Okay, so bummer of a week, huh?
I mean, I think that this week shows hope for the future.
I think it shows hope because the machine works.
Okay.
Even if this thing isn't working, my brain.
Thank you everyone for watching and have a wonderful day.
I hope that wasn't too boring. I don't know. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Wait a minute. Michael,
What?
there's only one problem.
Oh no.
The whole thing was recorded without
The camera records
sound.
the microphone, right?
Okay, so sound quality is gonna suck on this.
Oh well.
Can we re-record? No.